Hey guys, what's going on? MaxFTE here, and today I'm back with another Pokemon Go video. Today, we're going to be trying out this season's Great League Remix Cup, which for some reason Gligar has been allowed into, so we're going to be using it, giving it a go, matching it up with regular Feraligatr as well as Cresselia. But yeah, just to also know that only 3.5% of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed, so if you're enjoying, make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe, and help us on the road to 10k. But yeah, let's jump into the battles. From all of the YouTube videos that I've seen featuring Feraligatr in the Pokemon Go Battle League, virtually all of them have been using Shadow Feraligatr, but I've only got a regular one for Great League. My one Shadow is actually powered up for Ultra League, so we're going to be giving it a go. Obviously, you're going to have a bit more bulk, but you're also going to be dealing a bit less damage. It's going to work out quite well for us, as you're going to see in this video. And as obviously pairing it up with Gligar Shadow, which again I'm not sure why it's been allowed into Great League Remix. Obviously the top 20 most used Pokemon are not allowed for the Great League Remix, so my guess is that they're using this data from a couple seasons back, as well as Cresselia. I mean I wouldn't say it's that used anyway, but it's just it's always been a sort of solid Pokemon. It's always been sort of hanging around. But yeah, I can't actually remember where I saw this team. I think it was on Twitter, I want to say. We've had a lot of fun with it. You know, Feraligatr I just think is such a great Pokemon. It's not quite sort of taking that meta-defining role as much as I thought it would. You are obviously really fast-paced with that Shadow Claw, as well as having a lot of really hard-hitting moves. You can do sort of a lot to... There's not really anything that sort of just walls it, and even the stuff that you would think would wall it, you can do just so much damage with the sort of fast-paced Hydro Cannon and Shadow Claw. In here with the Feraligatr, going to go for a Hydro Cannon up against the Magneton. That is going to take them out as they have no shields left. We're going to swap straight into our Gligar, and they do have a Ferrothorn. Thankfully, they don't have anything that is super effective against us, only neutral, and so we're going to go for a dig. I was a little worried there. I was getting a bit iffy about which move would be better to throw against the Ferrothorn, and then there I did shield. I was a bit worried about a Flash Cannon coming through. However, because they've thrown so quickly after they last threw, I know it's not going to be a Flash Cannon, it's just going to be a Power Whip. And they do actually catch onto the Mantine, which was fair play from them. However, the Ferrothorn is that low health, and we do actually have that much energy that we are able to get to another Aerial Ace, and this is going to take out the Ferrothorn. First game to us. Second game, we're going to have Feraligatr on the lead against Gligar. This is a really nice lead. We are going to be sort of on the same pacing for the Aerial Ace, if they go for Aerial Ace, that is. At this point, just because of the energy difference in it, I just prefer to go for Hydro Cannon as opposed to Ice Beam. Hydro Cannon is going to be doing so much damage anyway, as well as the Shadow Claw damage. It's pretty much going to one hit anyway, so you're pretty much as well just going for Hydro. You're going to be winning CMP as the Feraligatr as well, which is quite nice. And so they do actually swap into a Poliwrath. I'm going to come in with my Gligar, and they are going to let the first Aerial Ace go through. We're going to shield this up just because of an Icy Wind, and I think a Scald would actually take us out as well. We are going to play for switch advantage. Thankfully, we do have even shields as well, which is quite good. Going to throw the dig up against the Frostlass. Going to be doing a lot of neutral damage. I think maybe I made a little mistake here. I do actually feint... I don't know, was that one or two wing attacks away from the move? I think... Okay, no, I don't think I would have quite gotten to two Aerial Aces, so I think we were actually okay going for the dig. Going to come in with the Cresselia, and unfortunately for Cresselia, we're pretty much just going to be using it to absorb all of the energy from the Frostlass. Unfortunately, the Cresselia does not have much use for us here. They are going to come back in with a Gligar, and we are going to... I think we threw on CMP, which we do win, of course. Hydro Cannon going to get shielded up. Apparently it wasn't CMP because we get a move through. However, when I threw the Hydro Cannon, they didn't get a move through, or at least the animation didn't play. So I'm not sure what was going on there. Gonna throw the Hydro Cannon though and take them out. We do farm up a little bit extra as well, just so that we are able to reach the Hydro Cannon. However, we don't actually need it just because the Frostlass is on that low health. Shadow Claw doing enough damage to take them out there. Next game, pretty terrible lead. Whimsicott Obviously, at this point we are running bite. Not bite. Crunch on my Feraligatr. I see a lot of people running crunch. However, I just personally prefer having ice beam, cover for the grass, and in this case, it would have been a lot handier having the ice beam. Unfortunately, we don't have it. It's so not going to fare so well there. Gligar going to go for an Aerial Ace up against the Mantine. Thankfully, I was about to say they caught, but I would have been throwing the Aerial Ace anyway against the Whimsicott, so sort of 6 and 2/3s, I suppose. I want to say we come in with the Feraligatr. Yeah, Feraligatr and go straight for a Hydro Cannon. I think here I was just wanting to preserve my health on the Hydro Cannon. Sorry, on the Feraligatr. They shield up, and we are at back-to-back Hydros, so we are just going to let go for the next one. And they do actually double shield their Mantine, which isn't quite nice. I'm going to try and farm all the way down. However, they have a Golbat, and of course, like if I'd had Ice Beam on Feraligatr, and if I'd had I was going to say Psycho Cut. I do have Psycho Cut on my Cresselia. Future Sight, that's the move Cresselia gets. If we'd had Future Sight on Cresselia, we could have won this game. However, it's just not meant to be. We did get pretty hard countered. So, unfortunately, as bulky as the Cresselia is, just barely not going to be able to take out the Golbat. They are going to go for a move. I do just... Sorry, I do shield it up. I thought it was going to be the Shadow Ball first. However, now that my defense is down, their Poison Fang is going to be doing even more damage. And yeah, they've still got a Whimsicott. If I'd had Ice Beam and Future Sight, maybe this battle would have gone differently. However, there's not much we can do. If I'd managed to farm all the way down there, I maybe would have gotten to a move and then took something else out. But it is what it is. You can't win them all. Feraligatr on the lead up against Quagsire. This is quite a nice lead. We are going to be outpacing, well, sorry, not outpacing, we are going to be on even pacing, but we do actually win CMP. This is when I switched back to Ice Beam on my Hydro. I keep saying Hydro on, this is when I switched back to Ice Beam on my Feraligatr. Gonna catch a move onto the Gligar from the Mandibuzz. I mean, Mandibuzz is not the worst match for Feraligatr, but just because they're resisting the Shadow Claws, I would like to switch out and sort of get a bit more damage with something else. Obviously going to be hitting for neutral with the Gligar, so going to go straight for the Aerial Aces. This is going to add up quite nicely. And they're going to go for another move. I think this is just going to be an Aerial Ace. However, I would quite like to play for Switch, so we are going to shield that up. We throw one Wing Attack and go for a move on quite nice timing. And that is just going to take them out, which is quite nice. Quagsire, thankfully, throws a move instantly. They could have gotten away with farming up a bit more energy. However, I suppose the energy isn't as useful on against the Feraligatr. We do come in with our Cresselia, and they catch a Moonblast onto their Mantine. It's going to be doing about 30% of their health, I want to say. And so we're going to let this go through. Cresselia is just so bulky, you don't really need to shield anything, which is quite nice. Straight for a Moonblast as well. This is going to grab a shield. It was sort of fishing for the boost here. Unfortunately, we don't get it. And so, I think I try to catch an Ice Beam here. Which, we actually do manage to catch an Ice Beam, which is quite nice. And so, I'm going to go for a Hydro Cannon. This is going to take out at this range. And so, they're going to let that go through. Sorry, no, my bad. They actually shield it up. We've still got a shield left for the Feraligatr. They're going to throw a Stone Edge, which was quite a nice shield from our part. Going to throw the Hydro Cannon up against the Quagsire. This is going to be doing a lot of damage. Just barely not going to be taking them out. Unfortunately, they do also have a move loaded as well. So the Aqua Tail is just barely not going to be taking us out. However, I think I either missed a turn or I just wasn't paying attention. I did miss the Shadow Claw, so that was a bit unfortunate. They do take us out. However, Cresselia comes in, farms all the way down, and we can Psycho Cut down the Mantine. Next game, we've got Feraligatr up against the Empoleon. This is a decent match. This is like one of the situations where having Crunch is better. And so they're going to go for a drill pick. I'm going to shield that up just because I wasn't exactly sure how much damage that was going to do, as well as obviously their shadow. Crunch is going to grab a debuff though, which is really nice. They're going to come in with a Sceptile, and Sceptile is just unfortunately a bit too glassy for Great League. Frenzy Plant is going to do a lot of damage against us though, and so going to go straight for an Aerial Ace. I'm going to grab a shield, and so they're just going to farm up a little bit extra. I let this go through and just come in and farm down with the Feraligatr. I'm sure. Just going to wait out the switch clock. And yes, so I come in with the Feraligatr and going to go for a Hydro Cannon just before they get to a move, just so we don't have to waste a shield here, which is going to take them out quite nicely. They come in with a Gligar, which is really nice. We're going to be able to go for a Hydro Cannon again, going to grab their last shield, and at this point I switch into the Cresselia, just because I know that the Cresselia isn't as good against the Empoleon, whereas Feraligatr is good against them both the Empoleon and the Gligar. So having the Cresselia that's not so good against the Empoleon up against the Gligar is quite nice. They're gonna get to a move. We do still have a shield. We're gonna let it go through just because we do have health on the Feraligatr. We can pretty much just go for a Hydro Cannon and take them out. Moonblast, however, is gonna just barely we're gonna barely reach it, and that is gonna connect up against the opponent. They're gonna get to a move. We can shield this up and just safely get to a Hydro Cannon, which is going to secure the game for us. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like. If you've got any team suggestions or anything like that, make sure to leave them in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya. Peace.